1vx is dead, and it's going to stay dead, and it needs to stay dead for ESO to evolve as a game, because I'm be honest with you, games like this is terrible. Randomly, 4 people decide, you know what, let's play together, and these people are semi-comped, and when I mean semi-comped, I mean the bare minimum. All these builds work together solo, and one person has rally. That is the bare minimum of a comp. Well, they work, and now we're just together, and now we're fighting people, and we're vaguely focusing on the same people. No calls, but we're all looking in the same general direction until we decide to split up and just kill whoever is around us. That's it. How is that fair? Oh, it's not fair, because these people need to actually get around and, you know, make good builds and then, you know, coordinate in order to fight. But people would rather it be the quote-unquote old days where, nah bro, just have it where everybody can 1vx each other. Yet back in those days you had way less damage, people were actually far more tankier than they was, and you were just heavily relying on extremely busted things. We was relying on a lot of corrosive. We was relying on 5 sets to heavy attack and you literally insta-kill the target. We're relying on extremely busted mechanics that allow for 0 fucking counterplay. Remember Calorians? Remember when people was using Thundercard or Battle Shrine 2-hand? They was running fucking Selines, all these other damn sets where it's literally hit you in 1 second, you instantly die. How are you supposed to counter that? Oh yeah, let me just pop corrosive and stay in corrosive infinitely so that I don't die to anything, and then I just hit you with multi-whip over and over and over again. Oh my bad, that's not meta. Power Lash. Like, how in the fuck is that even realistic to say, yeah, that's how we should go back to, where nobody could counterplay you? And if we say there's a counterplay to it, we're really saying you have 2 seconds to potentially get a kill on somebody. Like, that's not fucking realistic, man. That's not realistic at all. And that's what most people were 1vxing on. A corrosive spam DK. Or there was on builds that literally would just 2-shot people. And what's the counterplay to it? Oh yeah, so you just gotta like not get hit ever. That's not fucking fair at all. We gotta be honest with ourselves when it comes down to the 1vx mentality and what a lot of people do. Right now, a lot of the quote-unquote 1vxers that I've seen, they stopped playing the moment corrosive got out. And if you feel, oh, well, that means he wasn't 1vxing. Well, if 90% of the people that quote-unquote 1vx are spamming corrosive, and you get the other 10% that are able to run other classes and actually do other things, oh, that's cool. But a majority of population is just corrosive spammers. The other 10%, they're okay, but they're not out here, oh, I walk into a keep by myself, and then I killed like 6-7 people, keep it moving, killed another 6-7 people. Like, they're not bombing these people. They'll kill 2 people and then kite for 25 minutes and then kill 1 person and then kite for another 25 minutes. That's incredibly boring. Why are we even suggesting this is what people should get into the game and start doing? If you go into a keep, you're not going to kill a group of players and then take the keep. No, you want to go into the keep and constantly run away from people, but you're a DPS? How are you a DPS? You've killed 3 people in 40 minutes. But that's the quote-unquote 1vx mentality that we need to have and flourish in the community. No, that's silly. That's silly. We don't need to be incentivizing that. A majority of people, when they get into ESO, what do they want to do? They want to fight. They want to fight groups of players. And they want to enjoy killing people or assisting their team in getting kills. They want to complete the objectives. They want to take the keeps. They want to flip the flags. They want to do this. They want to do that. They want to have Emperor. Cool. Why in the hell, if I look up on YouTube right now for ESO and I say PvP builds, I'm going to see a list of DPSs and a majority of them are 1vx. AKA, they could work in a group, but the YouTuber would never even remotely suggest you working in a group. You'll probably get laughed at by the people online for the builds typically. Like the 1vx community, they'll laugh at you that you even try to 1vx. Well, I apologize. They'll laugh at you for even trying to run with groups 90% of the time. And if you start running with groups, even if you become really good and you make your own builds, well, you ran in a group with a 7-man the other day or a 12-man. You're a Zergling now. Oh, so ball groups are Zerglings? Yes, 100%. All ball groups are Zerglings. Why? Because they try to 1v12, 12 players. They're all comped up and know what they're doing. And you're gonna call them trash because, oh my god, I bet your build can't 1v1 me though. It's not meant to 1v1. Oh, so you're trash. It's like, what the fuck? Like, but you can't go ahead and fight the 12 man. Oh, what does that make you? Oh, well, you're just abusing cross healing. What? So we can't heal each other? So you mean to tell me we shouldn't have healers in the game? Because last time I checked, when I looked up 5 different PvP, quote unquote tier lists, I'ma see a whole bunch of dumb shit, because they'll explain how DKs are S plus in everything. They're the best thing to run right now. You can't go wrong with a DK. Yet a big aspect of the DK is they can't fucking heal people. They cannot heal their team. If I'm going to die and the DK is watching it, he has 2 options. He can either kill the enemy, hope I live to tell the tale, or he could just watch me die and save his resources, because he's not going to be able to kill everybody that is on top of me. It's not realistic. Versus, oh, I'm on a Templar, I could throw out a heal. Yeah, Templar doesn't have insane damage, but they can throw out good heals. Warders can throw out heals. Nightblades can throw out heals. Necros can throw out a heal. Nearly every other class can throw out a heal that's going to be at least somewhat substantial enough to have the chance of you surviving. Yet, DKs can't do it. Yet we're going to say that DKs are 100% S plus in everything that they do. If you're playing solo, oh yeah, because you don't have to heal anybody. And that's perfectly valid. Hell, even in group play, they're still really good. But you don't hear that type of nuance, because a lot of times what happens, we get into a build video, we get into a build tier list, well, PvP tier list, and they're like, oh yeah bro, yeah, DK's high damage, go ahead, pow, get it done. Like, they don't talk about what goes on in groups, because Wardens would be far higher if they ever talked about groups. Necros would be far higher if they ever talked about groups. Necro bombs are some of the strongest bombs in the game right now, just off of the fact of what they're capable of doing in a group, let alone what they can do by themselves. So how the fuck are we gonna be like, nah bro, like, we're not gonna talk about that weak damage, or weak sustain, or weak this, or weak that, or weak like, no bro. This game is more than just what you can do by yourself. It is more than, hey, I'm just a 1vxer. What can you do in a 1vx scenario though? Like, we need to get out of that, right? If you aren't always 1vxing, why are you on a 1vx build? If you go into groups and you're playing with groups of people and you're trying to take out large groups of people, either larger than yourself or just as large as you, so say you're in a 12 man and you're fighting at the 12 mans and higher, why are you on a 1vx build? Why are you on a single target build? You need to have group oriented builds. Well, where are the group oriented builds? Every time you look up on YouTube, what do you see? 1vx. So as a community, we gotta start incentivizing people to actually post up group builds. They don't have to be the best, but showcase your group build. Actually talk about, you know what, this is what needs to be done for groups, or this is why I think this needs to be done for groups. We need to actually stop making it a taboo to talk about group play and being in groups, especially on YouTube, because when you get into Cyrodiil and you actually want to start doing shit, all of a sudden nobody's saying it's taboo to be in a group, except for the people that are oddly hypocritical. It's like the motherfuckers that are like, yeah bro, like, I never play in a group, yet they just 7v1 somebody and then teabags them and talk about your Zergling after getting Zerged bound. Like, how the fuck does that work? Why are we even incentivizing that this is the proper way of enjoying PvP? That we have to actively lie to ourselves and say that we don't play in groups because I don't need no group in order to be great. Like, bro, like, stop being a little misindependent when all you do is run around with people. Stop. We gotta be honest with ourselves. We gotta get out of this mindset, man. There's more to it than just that, because if we continue down this path, the game that you're seeing right now, this will be the norm. Every time you click into group play for BGs, oh well, there's one group that's actually decent. You get your ass kicked, then you leave. You rage, and you don't want to do BGs no more. You go into solo queue, and oh my god, you got the unlucky chance of people stand next to each other just because they're kind of already somewhat used to it, and then their builds kind of work with each other. Not even insane, they don't have that rallying cry, they don't have to have any sets that combo with each other. They just hit vaguely the same targets every now and again. Oh shit, that's, oh my god, they're cheating, they're using teamwork. The power of friendship, my ass. Like, bro, this is not anime. Why is the power of friendship all of a sudden winning? That doesn't fucking make sense. That shouldn't even occur. This is a whole MMO, and yet if people just semi-work with each other, all of a sudden it's insane we can't counter it? No, that's silly. That's silly. You know what's the best way to really start countering this shit and actually making it where the game would be more interesting and they can actually develop better game modes for PvP? If we incentivize group play. Because right now, if they was to listen to what the community says, a majority of the community is saying 3 things. We need a new PvP game mode, nerf Nightblades for some reason, again, like for the 50th time, and we need 1vx back again. That's all they're hearing. That's all they think that people are saying in PvP. In reality, that's just the people that speak the most on the forums. And for some reason, well, I know why. The truth is, the people that talk the most on the forums is the newer players and the 1vxers. Because right now, the biggest minority, well, not even the biggest, it's really the smallest minority right now, because they've lost a lot of players recently. The smallest minority is making the loudest noise, and they're always asking for 1vx. We need to go ahead and counteract that. Because it doesn't make sense that for as long as I've been playing this game and getting as good as I have gotten, the moment is fights like this, where not even fights, just games like this, it's like, what are they gonna do? Nothing. And then you get into the BGs, and it's every now and again you'll see it where it's like, oh shit, yeah, it's group v group. You actually see these 2 different groups actually going at each other, and they're actually capable of killing each other, but it takes a moment. You know, shoot, most of the time, a lot of times you get into the group v groups and people survive infinitely off of the strength of people don't have a lot of damage because they're too single target focused. They're not putting out debuffs like that. They're not out here making them actually take a lot of damage. They're out here like expecting you to be solo or to be in a 4v1. So if people actually start making more group builds and group oriented shit, by all means, there are so many ways to make it where you can hit hard in this game and make people take a lot of damage. 4 people can definitely fight another group of 4 people and kill them. Oh, it's 3 DPS, 1 healer? Oh yeah, that 3 DPS can certainly get enough buffs and debuffs going out that they can burst through them. And worst case scenario, have the healer run a group buff. Realistically, you want them to always run group buffs, but still, like, if you really need to boil it down, make sure they have on a set like, say, for instance, Saxiel's champion. That's major force for activating her ultimate. So if I give out major force, say somebody in our team, or say that healer is also running Phoenix Moth, right? That's minor cowardice, not minor cowardice, minor courage, minor force. So you get major minor force, 30% more crit damage, 215 weapon damage. He's running Ozen, so you get minor vitality, and you get armor, right, when he overheals you. You go ahead and get, I don't know, say a DK, he has Rallying Cry on. That's your crit resistance. You're over here running Shackle, shifting standard, so you have Shackle damage, right? You have 1 VD or 2 VDs, right? You have a Plague. All of a sudden, you have the capabilities of bursting down a group of people and really going through and going ham on bombing people, but you don't gotta bomb when there's only 4 people. You can go ahead and take off VD, go ahead and take off Plague, and just make sure these people have even more damage kicking in. Having Innate Axiom is a great set. Now, everybody wants to do stuff like that, but hey, you could do Clever. You could do Essence Thief. I wouldn't suggest it in a group, but if you really want to increase damage and go that route, by all means, run up a fucking tower, pick up your damage done, and go with it. Like, there's options that you can do to go ahead and make it where, like, in a group, you're still pumping a lot of damage, while at the same time, you're capable of receiving group buffs to burn through people. It's very, very possible. It's extremely fucking possible. Like, realistically, that's what most groups just need. They just need a Rally, Phoenix Moth, Sax Heal, and you got in most of the buffs that you need. Oh, well, we don't have SPC. That's fine. That's fine. Some people run fucking Sea Serpent. Doesn't fucking matter. Even the people that don't run Sea Serpent, it's still fine. Because you can go ahead and get Arch Druid. You can go ahead and make sure you have an Ice Staff to put on Susceptibility. You can go ahead and do this. You can do that. You still get a lot of debuffs and burn through people anyway. Proc our synergies. Do this. Do that. Ulti dump. Like, it's not fucking hard. Yet, you can't even see that in the video because we can't even start that. People are just getting their ass whooped the entire time. They can't do anything because they can't even survive the first onslaught of just one of us attacking them. Let alone if 3-4 of us pull up at the same time, they're basically fucking dead. There's not much they can do about it. So, what are you going to do at that point? Like, you couldn't take the first ultimate, so why the fuck we gonna drop 17 on you? Realistically, maybe 2 ultimates if we drop it at the same time by not coordinating because we're not calling it out because we don't need to. Yeah, that's it. Like, there's not much else I can say on this. Like, really, just as a community, again, like I'm just repeating it at this point. We gotta start incentivizing group play because if we don't, games like this is always going to occur. There's going to be no counter to it. People are going to keep complaining about 1vx. People are going to keep complaining about 1vxers not dying. And then we're going to keep complaining about how the game is unbalanced and PvP is not fun. When in reality, it is pretty fun. But we got to do group oriented stuff to receive what we want.